Thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
No problem. And for all of you listening, my next guest is the Iranian Canadian singer, songwriter, rapper, Shaw.
Yes.
So tell us about yourself. Like, who are you? Like,
Who am I?
yeah.
That's a good question. Who am I? So my name is Cheyenne. I go by the name of Shaw, my stage name. That's also dollar sign HAH. Some people call me money sign Ha, but don't do that. So I say Shaw. uh, but yeah, I'm just a kid who came from immigrated to Canada in 2009 from Iran, born and raised in Tehran, the capital. And yeah, I was just really started as being a shy kid to kind of just grow up and figure out the talents and stuff he has, and just go from there. Um, Definitely was difficult at first coming to Canada with English being your second language and not knowing much and being put into ESL, but it's crazy when you look at it now, seeing like me putting out songs and like the strong accent or whatever is gone. So, but it's definitely yeah, man. Like I think the move to Canada was very big and also positive for me. I was able to kind of grow into more as a confident person. Um, you can say the whole freedom thing had a big, I think, you know, impact on it. But I always loved music and sports, especially soccer, since I was a kid. Played a lot soccer in my youth days. Especially with my dad being professional in Iran and stuff like that. So it was really like running the family in the blood. So there was always that low pressure and kind of thing of continuing the legacy and stuff like that. But I always loved music. The first time I think I started listening to music was like more like Persian rap. So it was back then. It was very underground and very illegal, and it was just something that a lot of people listened to, and me growing up listened to it, and my mom's cousin, who's like kind of was similar my age, or a lot older than me, but he was into a group, and then I really was kind of was teased and excited by the fact that he's able to rap. And I just started doing covers on like Farsi songs. And then eventually, first ever song I heard in English was like 50 Cent in the Club when it came out. So it was, it was like, and it was banging. It was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
crazy. Didn't understand a single word, but like, it was definitely something. And then like from there on, some other 50 Cent songs and then some eventually some Eminem came through, but really started to learn more about it when I kind of came to here. Obviously, the culture here kind of is more free and tells you anything you can listen to. And but yeah, I was just doing covers at first. That's kind of how I started with music, and it was definitely like a hobby of mine, but I definitely wanted to become something. And of course, I was doing school as well, always, parents push and always like that. But at the end of the day, it was kind of like, I wanted to kind of get the fame. That's what I always wanted. But also, I had the passion for both music and soccer. So the balancing of those two was my biggest, challenge I had.
Yeah.
Um, but either way, I mean, here I am now. I mean, and I think my music really evolved from people who remember me from high school days or kind of how it started. And again, like this is my first podcast, like, especially being at you. So it means a lot to me to being able to do this with you. And, obviously we can both grow each other's platform and, you never know, but it means a lot to be on the first podcast or interview slash to kind of talk about my story, where I came from, and like, you allowing me to kind of explain to people more about who I am and what I stand for, and just general stuff like that. But yeah, man, that's kind of who I am. Just a simple guy, but definitely, uh, definitely got the confidence. But at the same time, the challenges coming through and there. But I what I always tell myself is I don't give up kind of thing, and I don't think anybody should. Um, but that's kind of who I am, simple guy. I don't really like to pretend to be a person that I'm not. But at the same time, like we all have our own story and background, so here it is for now.
Of course. Well, you mentioned that one of the first songs that you remember listening to was a 50 Cent song, and you also mentioned that you didn't understand a word of it. But that's one of the interesting things, and one of the great things about music is it really does transcend age, language,
Mm,
ethnicity, all of that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. I listen to Spanish music and sometimes
right,
Persian
right.
music and
Same,
sometimes
yeah, yeah.
Italian music, or like it's not something I listen to all the time, but I definitely give it a
Right.
shot. And like I don't understand a word of it, but you can still get with it. It just like even English music, like when I listen to rap, I'm only listening to probably I'd say 20% lyrics, 80% beats. So like if a song's got a beat that slaps but like doesn't have any lyrics, I'll still listen to it. It could still get me jumping, and like
Yeah, right.
that's just it's really helpful and it's really beautiful for international rappers
Uh,
or aspiring
as they
artists.
say, man, music is own language, and like you said, I think that's another whole like different story of like nowadays beats being more important than lyrics. Of course, it has really evolved and changed, especially in hip hop and rap. And I think just mainstream music just shows it's really different. So it's more about having a good beat that slaps. I think we have seen frustration from the legends of Eminem, especially on his latest albums, where he talks about like mumble rap and stuff, and like he tries to say like I've put so much work with the lyrics and all that, but I think as you see, like a lot of people just want to blast like a hard beat in their car or at a party, something that just gets to them. But I do think lyrics is important. I think, of course, there are still the audience that listens to the lyrics. But yeah, like music is the beauty like of it is that international. Like I listen to a lot of Spanish. I listen to Turkish music. Like, I understand a little bit like with Turkish, but like, um, other than that, like I don't know much other than like common few words from like Spanish and stuff like that. But just the music and the tone gets you into it. So this is the beauty of music on that part. But yeah, definitely when I go back and listen to 50 Cent, I'm like, damn, like the way I was singing it back then was totally wrong. It was not how I was singing it.
It doesn't matter though. That doesn't matter.
But
It's just the fact that you're getting with it and loving it. And I mean, like you can remember kind of exactly
yeah,
what brought you into it, and that's always nice. But like,
yeah,
how does a shy Iranian kid end up being a rapper or a musician, or like how does that come to be? How do you kind of break through and I'm sure get over some fears or anxieties that you may have
yeah,
had with
right,
both
right.
performing and kind of just presenting yourself to the world?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think you know, I think my childhood growing up definitely has an effect on like what kind of person you are and how you're raised. I think that's the basic of it. I think anyone who has experienced something in their childhood, and this can be good or bad, but that's kind of what makes them go to where they are. Until you kind of grow up and you realize and you reevaluate the things that you were. As you said, like I'm not afraid to say that I've said it on my recent songs. People who know me really closely, they know, and I'm not afraid to say to public that I am one of the persons that deal with anxiety and depression and had a really tough time and still do to this day. It's been difficult, but I'm not afraid to say it, and I think like I'm trying to put a message out that we're not alone. But I think what really made me start doing music was kind of expressing myself out on just the lyrics and just putting out something kind of like a journal. When you people go into therapy or whatever, and people start doing, some people do journals, of their day. This is how my day went. They empty themselves out on like a paper. For me, it was like that. For me, it was, maybe it wasn't much rhyming at first, but that's how it was. Just like frustrations, anger, or negative, positive, whatever. It would just be jot down, and then I started kind of just rhyming basic stuff, like really basic rhyming, which is like It wasn't and it was like offbeat, a lot of times. So, but I still just did it, and and to be honest with you, like I started in Farsi, so like it's crazy. Like when you start in Farsi, like my language, my Farsi was way stronger, but right now my English is way stronger than my
Of
Farsi.
course.
So like, of course, because you're in the culture. But I think as of how I just did it, I think I wanted to prove to people that I exist. As much as maybe little, you know, savagey or whatever it sounds like, I think I just want to prove to people that, hey, like there's a guy here and he's talented. And I think it was more of like proving um, to people and just like to others because I didn't have that feeling as a kid. And I don't want to say becoming popular, but that's how kind of was maybe it was that to become certain type of person where it's like, hey, like I want to show people what I'm capable of, but not in a way where I'm gonna show off or stunt. You know, I just want to be like a kid where I exist, and it's really weird because I did have a lot of fear, and I still do with anxiety and depression, and it really did affect part of things that I did to my daily life. But like at that time for me, like when I performed my first, like let's say, song that I made, and it was in the high school talent show, which the whole high school was in front of me in Pine Tree, and like I wasn't nervous a bit. For me it was like I wanted to just go out there as soon as I could and just like show people, hey, like this is me. And then like afterwards the feedback I got was like, damn, even though I'll say the song was you know crap, but that's how everyone starts. But it was
Of
just
course.
like, I was just like, okay, like, hey, like I wanted to be out there and show people. I wanted to grab that opportunity and let the people know. It's like that, like lose yourself. I mean, them kind of songs. Like you have one moment, like gotta use it. I'm not saying that was like a do or die moment for me, but it was just at that moment. That's what it felt like. Um, it was tough, man. Like it was definitely tough. Like coming to Canada as a Middle Eastern guy, there's a lot of racist joke at first. I don't want to make it a big deal, but like, you know, kids are kids, like I was a kid. That guy was another person was bullying me during my youth here. I had another buddy of mine who was a best friend of mine, since we came here at the same time together, like he felt the same, but it was tough. When I coming to Canada, it was tough. Like the language, of course. I did study, I'm not gonna lie, like I did study a little private lessons in Iran before coming, but it wasn't enough to be like perfectly on grammar or whatever, you know. But it was definitely like a tough time to just kind of get to the people's good side or just let them know, hey, like I'm here like that too, no stereotype or type of shit like that. But at the end of the day, like it took time and like work, but I think as long as you have a pure heart and the other person who you're talking to is human as well, and he understands you, I think you can get along. It doesn't matter about where you're from, race, or whatever. As long as you can understand that person has a good heart and is a normal human being and cares when things are wrong or right. I think that was the main thing, and that's how I made my friends a lot. Um, but becoming a rapper thing, it was like, again, it was like a dream that I wanted to do. I didn't had no idea. I had to start with the basic of how to even record myself on audio. It was just like more like freestyles or just writing down and then like recording it on my phone voicemail, like voice recorder. So it's a definitely interesting story to when you look back at it right now, and then you're like, oh, wow, like now I have a mic or something like that at home. It's like it's crazy, but obviously it's nowhere like I haven't. It's not like I have made it or anything, but when you look back at it, you tap your shoulder, you tap on your shoulder, and you say, hey, like I'm proud of yourself of where you came. Um, so of course it wasn't always positive, but we had a lot of bumps on the road, so that's how it felt like. But I hope that answers the question. I kind of go off guard a little bit. Let me know, but
No, no, no,
that's
no,
kind of
no.
it
Of
was,
course.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's I like that answer. I like it. And like you kind of mentioned your friends a little bit. So did getting into music or rap more specifically, did that kind of guide you into a different group of friends? or did you kind
Mm.
of, or have you like maintained the same core group of friends throughout, or is it kind of like a mixture of the two? Because I know when you start something new, whether it be a hobby, a job, anything
Yeah.
really, if you start doing it naturally, you're going to attract the people
Mm.
that also do
Hmm.
that as well. So is that
Definitely.
something that you noticed, or is it kind of like you kind of just did
It
your own
was
thing?
100%. I think, but my main group of friends wasn't made because of my rap, or like, let's say maybe I did see him, for example, if I played soccer or somewhere like that, I did make some friends like that. That's how you do, if you're involved in an activity or event, you make friends, because they're in the same mindset of you. But my main core of friends, when they know who they are, like it wasn't through that. It was just, through how you meet through high school, middle school, stuff like that. But however, though, when you do get into different fields, it does become different because, as you know, music field could be a little bit troubling sometimes, with drugs being a main kind of thing involved. And not saying everyone takes drugs, but like, many people like to get in the zone and stuff like that. I was offered, I was in those scenes, and which I was against. I'm against, drugs. And I did drink before, but I haven't drank in like 4 years, 5 years. So I'm off.
Wow.
I don't, I'm not a big fan. So um again, but like that's okay. Like anybody else can drink. That's their opinion. But the lifestyle, it was different for sure. So like if I was, this is again what I'm saying, when I really wanted to chase both of my dreams, which was like becoming a soccer professional player and like a musician that could possibly make it in a record label or a group or whatever. And like looking at it, it's like, okay, so they don't match, because soccer, you have to be healthy and like, focus on yourself, have a good health, diet, can't go out as much, can't hang out with too many friends if you really want to become professional, and that's how I got it from my dad. But when I went to music was a lot of different stuff. You had to go out a lot, promote yourself, go out to these late night studio sessions. I talked to different various people, and maybe it wasn't my cup of tea with a lot of people I didn't relate to, I didn't connect to because the stuff they were into, I wasn't into. But again, like you have a choice. You have a choice to make that. Music industry is really big, and there's so many artists just in Vancouver. You look at it, everyone has something, at least a tape or two songs. And most of them are talented as well. Some sound the same, some sound different, but like it's just that's how it is. The music industry is so tough and more challenging, I think, and that's it causes a lot of different people that you can't really trust. I have gone scammed in music many times because of trusting a person that I didn't even meet in person. But it sounded legit to me. It sounded really legit, and I was like, okay, like let's do business, something like that. But never received the product or anything like that. So I am careful when it comes to music business, and I still, have a small circle, with my manager Serena, who, he was like one of my best friends that I grew up with as in middle school. We got closer later on in high school, and I can't trust some random things with just random strangers because people are just trying to hustle and get some money. And music industry, trust me, you get on my DM right now, like if I release a song, I get different pages that say, hey, pay me $40, I'll put you on my Instagram post with like this many followers. But he's offering his service, and I'm not mad at that or anything like that. I've gotten many messages like that. It's just the same way that you want to give future to somebody on this song, right? You might want to charge that guy. You'd be like, hey, I'm charging for you. But for upcoming artists, it's very challenging. I think different artists could feel the same pain or same struggle, but it's very challenging. That's why, like, trust and in music business is really hard. That's kind of what I wanted to say. But in terms of my main group of friends, like you do make friends in music. I did make some friends that I kept close because I'm like, you know what, we connect outside of music as well. Um, but you got to be smart, and that's of course with everybody. That's how it was. But my main group of friends, it was just from as a grown up kids, we grew up together and we just kind of met. So my circle, I say it's small.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. No, I got a small circle too. I think I got core friends. I've probably still got the same core friends since I was a kid. Obviously, a couple have kind of managed to sneak in, but they were kind of like friends of friends. That
Mm.
it's not just like outside sources. So it is kind of it's been uh, kept in the family for lack of a better
Yeah,
term.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel that. Um, so yeah, your sound. I was listening to it again this morning. I actually downloaded a couple of your songs to put on my Spotify playlist.
Fire,
But
fire.
no, I like it. You don't have that intense screaming at you, kind of just swearing and
Yeah,
dropping
yeah,
profanity all the time and
yeah.
saying
Right.
fuck. And no, I really like that. It's got kind of like the see, I don't want to say R&B vibes, but it's
Mm.
like you got kind of like that mellow, mellow type of rapping
Right.
style. I like it. I like it. It's more you have to pay attention to the lyrics more. It's not just you yelling and trying to make noise and talking about
Mm.
just nonsense. So
Right, right.
like how did you kind of just go with what sounded better voice wise, or did you kind of have to develop that? Did you
I
model
think I
yourself
just
after someone?
I think I just evolved, man, to be honest with you. Like first of all, I appreciate you like, saying all those compliments
Of
and
course.
listening to it. It means a lot. And but I think if people are like, again, friends of people who have been following my music journey and who I am, I think when in like back in let's say 2015 or 14, 13, my music was straight like yelling rap. Not yelling rap, but like it was just like lyrical, just like it wasn't my sound,
Yeah.
and like I thought I was the shit back then. I'm not gonna lie, but I was like, okay, like this is fire, but it wasn't fire. And like it was something to start. I tried different things, and I quit music actually for about 2 years. But I was still like writing and freestyling here and there. Of course, I was in, up to date with latest news with music because it was always like my daily
Of
life.
course.
Um, but what it was interesting was that I just kind of like, I backed off a little bit, gave myself some space, listen to different type of music. I didn't really follow someone category because I tried to think of who I sound like, and I couldn't find. And I'm not trying to like flex or anything like that, but I couldn't find someone that sounded like exactly like me, or I'm in the same like trap vibe or whatever.
That's good
So
though.
yeah, so it was
That's
like
good though.
okay,
100%.
yeah. So I was like okay, so I started testing just different things, and I think it was 2000, maybe at the end of 16 or 15, maybe I'm not quite sure, but I just started doing something different. And my second single, when I started coming back, it was called Formula, and that was like an Afro type beat, like a summer vibe beat, where it's
Yeah.
like, and it was there where I think I got a lot of feedback, and that song got like 180K views on YouTube.
That's
I
impressive.
work I work with like I invested in it, but I work with like shout out to like Kane, Crescent, and the TIV team. They really helped me out there to kind of come back and introduce myself as a new artist. And I kind of changed my back then. My first well, my first name in public was like Shaw King. That's what it was. And then I kind of changed that up, and I just went with simple with Shaw, and that's how I started. And then that formula thing, what I noticed was when I heard a friend of a friend is listening to that song and is tagging me in his story and is playing it in the car and is promoting it. That's when I was like, okay, like I'm in the right track.
You got
That
something.
that was when I was like, okay, like I didn't get this before in 15 or 14.
Yeah.
Back then, people didn't download, like I was all in SoundCloud, but like people didn't download the shit like on their phone and play it, and like in like let's say parties and stuff, be like, yo, let's play like that track.
People were still
And
fucking with that YouTube MP3 converter back then.
yeah, yeah, sure.
No, nobody was
Back in
having
the
Spotify.
iTunes days,
Yeah.
fuck LimeWire back in the day when it was, I mean, before it
Oh
was that,
man,
but
don't even get me started with LimeWire. You give your
uh,
computer cancer for a couple of free
cancer.
songs. That's crazy, man. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
but that's what it was. And then like, but then in Formula, when I got a big, like I don't know, this many streams and people start reaching out,
exposure. You're
and
just getting more exposure.
yeah, and it felt great. It felt really good, and And that's when I was like, okay. And then I started doing my first album, which I was working on before that single, and I had multiple different songs, and I had obviously, friends come listen. I had like some friends of friends, some send them some demos and they listen. And I wanted real feedback. I didn't just want someone to just kiss my ass and be like, hey, it's great,
No.
bro, like, with my best friend or whatever. So and they didn't do that. They were real, and I changed some stuff. I mixed and mastered it with, again, I'm gonna give a shout out to one of the homies from Surrey, 40K. He mixes and masters all my songs till this day, and shout out to him for him. But then when I first dropped my first album, which EP was a Neon Love. That's how I came with the whole vibe, and it was all about past experiences with love, and experiences of like general problems in life and stuff like that that I could see people could relate to. But what I found out, I could say my strength was my melodies and catchiness. That was my main thing that I had off my hooks. People would remember that hook listening to it the first time.
Yeah.
And like
Straight up.
it was annoying when like my friend would be, or someone else would be like in the studio would be like, fuck, that's just like in my head now, like after listening to it, and he would like kind of like mimic it a little bit, right? And I'm just like, I did right, because that's stuck in your head, and you're good with it. It's not in a way where it's like annoying stuck in your head. It's in a way
No.
where it makes sense, but it's also meaningful. So that's I'd say what my strength was, and that's how the album, I think, had a lot of catchy songs, and like people just listen to it, and from there on, like I focused on that style. That's how I developed that style of my music, and I didn't try to focus on just hip hop, because I'd say, like, yeah, hip hop was the main thing that got me into music, and that's my favorite genre with rap. But my main thing, I think, it's pop. I'd say
Yeah.
I'm a pop artist. I'm an alternative hip hop artist, I'd say. I do have, like, I never wanted to sound the same. I wanted to try something different and see if I can do it. And that's why, like, with my latest song, which is out, like Both Cheeks, I did like a drill beat, like a Pop Smoke type of style. And I did it, and it slapped, it slapped. And that was a big accomplishment on my end, because that was the first song I got in the co-op radio. And that, for me, hearing myself on the radio, like the first time,
Congratulations.
it's appreciate it, bro. It was like, damn, like, feels good, co-op radio. I don't give a fuck. Like, put it on anything. Like, you hear it in the car and it's on the radio,
Yeah. Somebody's
that's
playing your
crazy.
shit. More people are hearing it. That's always a
And,
good
and that
thing.
was
Doesn't
and that
matter.
was because of the recognition, right? And shout out to Emerson for making that happen with the Vancouver Co-op Radio. And it was that I put so many songs before that, and that song got on there. Probably not my favorite song of my own, but at the end of the day, like that song is a heartbeat, and it's catchy with the whole name Both Cheeks. We did a music video for that too. Shout out to 4K Carlos. He did most of my music videos after for the Formula One. Um, but yeah, that's how I kind of developed my style. And to this day, man, like, I got more music coming. But the main thing is, like, I don't want it to sound the same every time. I want everyone to be different, and like there should be a good variety and versatility in my songs. Of course, there's so much room for improvement always. But yeah, that's pretty
Well,
much it.
there's always going to be room for improvement. The day you stop improving is the day you die. You can't, like, you're always going to say you're going
Facts,
to retire
facts.
or you're going to die. That's how you're going to stop improving.
That's
But like
facts.
the
Yeah,
greatest of all time in anything, whether that's sport, music, politicians, anything, you got to be working on your craft every day. Otherwise, it's what's the
yeah,
point, right? If you're not trying to be the best, then what's the point, right?
yeah, exactly. Push yourself harder. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So back to your music video, like I've seen the Both Cheeks music video, and I think it's very
Mm,
impressive. And coming from somebody who's met you in person, I like the demeanor that you have in the music video, the kind of cool, suave type
yeah,
of guy. No, but the thing is like that's not an act either. I've met you in real life, and that's how you present yourself. So it really is authentic, and you can tell
yeah. I
because
appreciate that.
because when you're just trying to be like all these guys trying to be gangsters, like don't try to be a gangster when you're not a gangster. People read right through it. No, I'm not even talking about real gangsters that read right through it. People like
Right,
people
right,
like
right.
me that are just sitting there in their underwear watching music
Right.
videos, those people will call you. I'll be like, man, get this guy out of
Yeah.
here with this.
Yeah.
But no, I like it, and you are genuine. You're one of the more
I
genuine
appreciate
artists
it,
that I've
man.
seen, for sure,
Thank
for
you,
real.
man. Thank
Like,
you.
um, it's really important to never stray away from that either. Don't let any future success or people or anything let that
Change you
change
up.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope money and success for you, but like they say,
Yeah.
you want to see a man's true character, give him power, give him money. So
See how it changes.
we'll
Yeah.
see how that
Facts.
goes. But I got faith in you, man. You got
I
your head
appreciate it,
screwed on
man.
right.
Appreciate it, man. One thing about me is I've said it before to many people. I don't forget those. I don't forget easily. And even if whatever, if the future is successful or not, if that's the fate and that's how it's supposed to be, I'm not going to forget the first person who gave me a mic to rap. I'm not going to forget the first person who gave me a radio play. I'm not going to forget the first person who gave me a podcast, to
Of
express
course.
myself. And that's just my appreciation, because of the love I'm receiving, because the people who put you on first on the air, whatever platform they have, it doesn't matter if they're big or not. They're the ones that I have so much respect for, and I would do that for whoever's coming up for the future.
Paying
At
it
the end of the
forward.
day, you want to help others, and you want to make just this world become a better place, in my opinion. And this may be a general topic, but just in terms of music wise, or whatever I can do in my life, whatever I can pass on my experiences with whatever I've been struggling with, or with music I can help someone. I'm not fully, like you said, fully mastered music or anything, not even close, but I can at least pass on some knowledge and help whoever is coming up and is feeling the same. And that's the main thing, right? Like, as long as that person has passion and is willing to work, like, yeah, why not? Anybody can do it nowadays. You can just buy a mic and just start testing yourself out. But yeah, like I don't forget easily, man. That's the main thing. And that's what I stand for. That's kind of my code. Um, like yeah, pretty much it.
So you said you wanted to be a professional soccer player growing up. And I mean, like, I could see how that would be a goal of yours, seeing how your father was a professional soccer player. So, like when you ever see a doctor, it's usually his dad's a doctor and grandpa's a
Right.
doctor, and there's a lineage of it, right? So, I mean,
Mm.
obviously, having a family member, especially a father, playing at such a high level, did that put any pressure on you? Did he put any pressure on you to become successful in that? Or was it kind of just like he let you do your thing and
Yeah.
let you pick your own path? How did that go over for you?
You know what? To this day, like man, it still comes to my mind like here and there, where it's like, uh, what if you chased, or what if you didn't? What if, so many what ifs. But no, my father didn't put any pressure on me at all, and especially when I remember as a kid, he didn't tell me, oh, do this. He didn't introduce me to sport. Um, you know, I practice a lot. I train a lot, but I did have a shot to go, but unfortunately, my other issues that I had with personal health didn't allow me to go there.
Yeah,
I'm 24 right now. The sport is like the main thing I watch. Basketball is second for me, but I know, my job is to do with football and soccer. And that's how it is. But it didn't put any pressure on me. He didn't do anything because my mother was very fixed on studying, and
yeah,
and that
of
was the thing.
course.
They always put that pressure where
Doctor,
I think,
engineer. What,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
what were
like
you gonna be?
become a computer
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
engineer.
I've heard
I,
it. Don't worry.
yeah, man. Like, you get lectures like from the early age. What do you want to be in the future? And then, like, they say, oh, my son's gonna be this, my son's gonna be that. But
Yeah,
I think that itself puts more pressure on a kid, to be honest, because I remember, like, I've heard this stupid question from many, like, other people who are just like, oh, what do you want to be in the future? Like, doctor? And I'm just like thinking to myself, I'm like, oh. And then when you get to that point where you're like, am I gonna be a doctor?
yeah,
Or something like that, or am I gonna do something? Am I gonna make it in life? Am I gonna make money? I think that's where it puts you pressure on. And I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. I wouldn't do that to my kid, or I wouldn't recommend that. Um, but in terms of like your question, man, like, it was just like I said, like, I wanted it so bad, but it wasn't because of him. It was I think it was part of it to a point where I seen his history and legacy, and I'm like, shit, like, okay, you could easily continue that. Or like, you meet and greet his friends, and like they were like, oh, like what position you're gonna play when you grow up? You're gonna be in the international Iran team. Then I think when he went back to coach in Iran, that's when it clicked in my head, and I was like, well, I'm good at soccer, or at least I consider myself good at soccer. Then why not train hard and be something? But again, like I said, I think my personal health didn't allow it, uh, and I think it was meant to be. I'm not saying I'm giving up. Like that dream is always in my head to become that, but there's so many factors that you consider more when you become kind of older. Main thing is income. Money is not everything, but at the same time, you gotta have an income because
You got
your
to
other
eat. You got
invest
to have a roof
you
over
gotta
your head. You
eat.
got to have a
Yeah.
vehicle to get A to B. You got like you have to make money. So no matter
You
what, even whether you're
you
chasing
have
your dreams or
bills and
not,
stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah,
So like for me, it was like, if I want to put so much, like especially now, if I want to go try again and put myself through hard work of, let's say, cardio, running, dedication, you know, uh, but the basic contract I'll get, first
yeah,
of all, it's too late because I'm 24, I'd say.
yeah,
But basic contract, even if I get, let's say, in a different league, in Iran league, whatever, at least you make it professional. But the amount of work you put in, and the income you get, it will be the same income or maybe less income than what I'm getting right now. So logically for me it would be like, it would be tough. Of course, for me it's like it's gonna a part of me maybe in the future I'll be like regretting to say, hey, like I could have become this, but why didn't I? And then like, but right now it's different because you're struggling with that part of your health issue, and then you're like,
yeah.
you're like, I can't do any of that. I don't want to put more pressure on myself. Um, but yeah, like, I think like I still represent the family to the fullest. Family is number one. They're the ones who always got your back, and they're always there for you. So I do my best to make my family proud, especially with what I have achieved, and with my work, with my music talent, and whatever, all that stuff. I think at the end of the day, I will make my family proud. And of course, like this is start. 24, like you have a long way to go, and I'm sure everybody else is the same. But don't let the pressure of people get into you. By people, like I mean everyone and your family, because at the end of the day, do what you have passion for and what you love. That's the main thing. Don't be forced into doing something because if you don't love it, you're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah, of course.
It's,
Well,
yeah,
that just goes with everything. That's not sport or music or
yeah.
food or anything. Like you
Job
gotta
wise,
be
anyway.
enjoying it. Yeah. Like if you
Yeah,
don't like your job, then what are you doing? Why are you wasting
exactly.
another minute of your life? So yeah. You've been watching the Euro Cup, obviously.
I have, yeah, man.
Are you
It
who
was.
do you rep? I know Iran's not in there, but obviously you got a team
I
that you got to
can't
rep
rep
for
anyone
Euro.
else. I can't. Ah, man.
Player
You know what?
wise,
Portugal, I'd say, because of Ronaldo.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm a big Ronaldo fan too. I mean, like I'm a
Uh,
Germany fan, so that kind of was a pain in the ass. But like,
you guys beat
man,
Portugal, though.
I know, I was watching the game the other day, and I just see, I wasn't watching it actually. I was getting the notifications on my phone,
Mm.
and the first goal that I see is goal Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm like, oh,
Ronaldo.
of course. I'm like, of course. And I go back and watch the highlights later, and he gets one of his cheating goals where he's just
Yeah,
standing back and gets a breakaway. And I
yeah,
call it
yeah.
cheating. I know it's not cheating. It's just like I that's his style of play, and he gets a lot of goals like that, and he's great. But like,
It's huge, man. But
I'm a
so
Germany fan.
how are you a Germany fan? You got
My
German.
lineage, yeah, my mom's side, they're from
Makes
Germany.
sense.
She wasn't born in
Yeah.
Germany, and neither was my grandpa. But if it goes back
That's
a couple
awesome.
generations, so I mean, I
Okay.
didn't really have Canada doesn't have a damn team, so I'm like,
This year they're doing better, man. I mean,
come on, man, they
they
got what?
passed through.
Besides like Alfonso Davies,
Davies.
who the hell
There's
they
some.
got?
There's a couple young good players, I think, but I mean, yeah.
It's
For
okay.
me,
You don't have to.
it's
Someone
yeah.
paying you to talk good about the team. It's
No,
okay.
no,
Nah.
it's what it is. But no, I like obviously like Iran is my first. That's the pride that comes in, man. It's huge. Like when the World Cup happened, like I was stressed out. Like it's like
Yeah.
I was in there. I'm like, how are they feeling if they're in there?
Yeah. Of
But
course.
no, I'm so proud of the team, and of course, like Ronaldo was like my idol from the beginning when I was a kid, and everyone's probably like was a big fan of him.
Did you
Um,
know he's got more followers than the Kardashians on Instagram?
three.
Did
I
you
just
know
saw the
that?
latest
I know
news.
300 million
100
people
million.
follow that guy. And like even let's just be conservative and say 100 million of them are fucking bots or stupid accounts.
You
Even
even
if
put
he's
that, but 300
exactly,
million.
that's like, and he's getting paid like 2 million per sponsored post or some crazy shit like that. Like,
Oh man,
and
he's got
a
he's got a
soccer player, football,
museum. He's got a museum. He's got his own brand. He's got his own hotel. Like,
and he's pretty on top of
um,
that. Like he's
yeah,
getting the sponsorships from all the athletic stuff and from all the GQ and all the
yeah.
colognes and all of that stuff. But good for him. He deserves
No,
it. He
man,
seems
but
like he's a good guy.
he made the memories of like especially like soccer fans or like yourself even as well. Like he made memories for all of us, and like with that being said, like I'm not against Messi or anything at all. Like there's
I
always that
am.
rivalry.
I don't like him. I don't like Messi. I didn't like him when he got his long hair, and I don't like him now. He's talented, but I don't know. I just don't like him. I
Yeah,
like, but yeah, no, I feel you. Like me growing up when I was a kid, I was a huge Ronaldo fan. It's just like something
it
about
made
it. Just
that's the one that made you go in the pitch after to do some tricks
exactly.
or
You always
whatever.
pretend you're Ronaldo doing penalty
Yeah,
shots by yourself or with a homie there. It's you always think you are. Like, Paul, me and him, we used to go play soccer when we were like
yeah.
8 years old, pretending both of us fighting because we want to be Ronaldo, and then someone's got to be Messi
I,
because no one
I
wants to be
played
Messi. So
soccer a lot with Paul too. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
no, that was good times, and it's like you always have these icons when you're a kid, whether that be Cristiano Ronaldo, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, uh,
exactly.
any other Wayne Gretzky. I know that's old and I don't watch hockey, but you know what I
Mm-hmm,
mean. It's the same idea. So
mm-hmm.
like, there's always these icons that kind of transcend sport, where they stand
Totally,
for more than
man.
that,
Totally.
and they typically when you got these guys that are so great and legendary, they're usually good examples and role models too. Like, I
Big,
mean,
big
I
time.
know Jordan was a gambler, but like, I don't think he was that bad
Yeah,
of a guy. And
they
like,
all have their side controversies, and
but you look at like LeBron
nobody's perfect.
James or Ronaldo, or like, you don't see those guys having controversies of them like beating their wives or doing any stupid
Yeah.
shit in the clubs. But
I mean, although you still don't know who's the mother child of Ronaldo's son, the first one.
that's true. I mean, yeah,
How much he's paying her, it's crazy.
exactly. But like, they're good role models, and I
But that's
mean,
how I think fame, man. That's how it gets to people.
it's the fame
I,
monster. Give me the
I
money, not
don't
the
know.
fame. But
Yeah,
sometimes you
yeah,
don't get to pick. Sometimes the only way to get the money is the
yeah.
fame, especially
I
nowadays.
look at Justin Bieber. Like I
Yeah.
see him. He went through a lot, and like look at him now, right? Like
I thought
he's
he
grown
quit
up
music.
so much.
I
Yeah,
remember he
he
made this
came back
announcement
with
years
another
ago.
album.
And then he's like, I'm moving to fucking Canada or somewhere with my wife and we're going falling off the map or something. I don't know. I
Right,
could be
right.
making that up, but I remember hearing something like that. And then now he's making an album and it's popping. I mean, I'm not a
Yeah,
huge,
man.
I don't listen to it. Like I like some of his songs. I can't name any, but I like some of
But
his
his
songs.
journey is crazy. When you look at it,
It
it's
is.
very
I
yeah,
respect him for sure. 100%.
yeah,
All the other stuff
yeah.
aside, I do respect the guy because he's a hard worker and he's obviously
100%.
talented.
Yeah.
And from like being put on a pedestal at like what, 14,
That's
15.
tough, man. Given the fame that age is like you get that much power, you can do anything you want. It's like
I had to be
it's
home at
dangerous.
9:30. I wasn't even allowed to leave the house for more than a few hours when I was that age. And this guy's
Yeah.
got millions and all the women all over the
Security
world.
around and shit.
Security.
Yeah.
He can't blow his nose or take a shit without anybody videotaping it and then
Noticing,
saying,
yeah.
exactly, no, you should be taking a shit this way in this side.
On
Like,
the camera. Yeah.
exactly. And it's just I couldn't imagine. It's like there so many children get robbed. You see all these stories of children getting
Yeah, man,
robbed. And I
it's
mean, they got
tough.
these successful lives, but like, at what cost? Because doesn't matter how
Yeah.
rich and famous and powerful you are, you'll never get that innocence of being a child back and
Mm-hmm.
that
It'll
pure
change who
joy
you
from the
are.
dumbest shit. Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll never get that back. And like, so it's kind of hard for me to feel bad for these people with hundreds of millions in their bank accounts, but like, I do feel for them. Like, not getting a
Mm.
childhood, man, that's rough. I can't imagine. I
Yeah.
had a great childhood, so
Yeah. Same here. Yeah.
it's
For
tough.
me,
But
for me
yeah,
growing up here was great, but yeah, I
yeah,
hope it doesn't
you grew up
happen.
in two different countries. You grew up, you did,
Yeah.
because you said 2009 and you're 24, so that would have
I
been
came
what,
at
11?
grade six
He's
at the
12
end.
years old, 11 or 12 years
12-year
old.
old, 11 or
Yeah,
12. Yeah.
that's a tough time to go to a
I
different country.
came,
And
I think it was good, man, because like that was the year where like, flipped. And it was
yeah,
like, okay, this is your language, like, speak this and kind of get it adapt to like the changes are in Canada. But I think like I see like people struggle more when they come in at the age of like 17 or something here because like
of
the language
course.
and also like
The
you're not
politics
going
of
through
it.
the and also
Yeah.
you're not going through the basic of like the whole like the ladder of the education system here. Um, but like it is like different because like I'm telling you like the school is way different. First of all, we don't have any like girls and boys mixed in the
No,
school in Iran, so everything is separate.
that was a culture shock,
Um,
I bet. Like,
yeah,
you're telling me I get
like
girls in
I'm
my
like
class?
you telling me I can talk to her
Yeah,
right now?
really? Wow. Nobody's going to slap my hand. No,
Nobody's gonna do anything. You telling me I can put my foot on the on
I
the
know.
desk and
And no one
nobody
will
can
care.
say shit?
Imagine that. No uniforms either.
No uniforms either. I can
Yeah,
come with like shorts and my hair can be
exactly.
long, like,
Yeah,
nails can be
nobody
long.
cares. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is
Mm.
really important for, like, I couldn't imagine being a student coming from overseas and trying to assimilate yourself into the body
Oh
of
man,
students that are all going through hormonal changes and they're all making fun of
yeah.
each other, especially now with social media. Everybody's making fun. Now it's like if a kid's getting bullied at school, he goes home to
Mm.
get away from it. He opens his phone and they're getting bullied on Facebook. Like, it's terrible. So, and if you're not speaking English on top of all of that, I can't even
Oh,
imagine.
yeah. I feel
You don't
bad.
know
Yeah,
why they're making fun of you. You don't even know what they're saying. You just know they're not being
yeah.
nice.
I felt that to be honest. A few times I was around like the group, and when you feel you don't belong in that circle,
Yeah.
and you're just like they're talking, and they're like, "Why is this guy here?" And like I
Yeah.
felt
Without
that
even saying it, they're just body
without even
language.
saying that.
And
I felt that,
yeah,
and
you feel the
like,
energy.
but then it's weird. But I think that's what pushed me though, man. I think that's what pushed me to prove to people, hey, like you fucked up, like,
Yeah.
like
Well, seriously.
don't like say gibberish and talk some bullshit, and then like when I don't know, let's say become a little popular in school in high school, and then come back and say, oh yo, what's up?
Yeah.
I've had that happen to multiple people. I don't want to say names, but like that happened to me a lot, and it was like, why? You're only coming now because you think I'm normal? I was normal back then, like
Yeah.
So
But I mean, that kind of, I guess that comes with the territory. Is like the more successful you get, all of a sudden you're gonna have to change your phone number a couple times.
not
Once you
there
start,
yet, but yeah.
once you make it big, then you're gonna have to change your phone number because all the bugs are gonna come crawling after.
They
It's like when
say,
you lift up
hey,
a
you
piece of
remember
wood.
me? Yeah,
Yeah, all the critters are gonna come crawling out. But no, man, that's
yeah,
good.
man.
That's impressive.
It's some
Yeah,
sort of we
you
all
got
go
you,
through.
you got to be really mentally tough to kind of put yourself out
Yeah.
there and express yourself musically or
Mm.
even what I'm doing. Just like you gotta, it's because you're gonna get criticism
You gotta be open,
at
man.
different
Yeah.
levels. Yeah, you gotta just like take not productive, constructive criticism and like
Right.
don't just ask the yes men. Like no matter how bad
Mm.
my stuff would be, my mom's still gonna tell me it's great. So don't go off based off of what your mom says, or even I mean, like my best
Man.
friends are pretty dope for that too. But like,
Right.
um,
Yeah, they support,
it's a
and
journey. Yeah,
that's love, But like you said, it's a journey, man. Like what you're doing now compared with the next year, or even compared with the next 6 months, you see so much improvement just in the way you're running this thing.
yeah,
I can tell you that. Like just the fact that you're brave enough and you're confident that you can improve and put this out there in public, why not? You know what I mean? Like just do it. You have passion for it, do it. You're putting time for this. You're doing the editing yourself. Like that's applauding. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's real thing, and like that's for everyone as well. Like do the thing that you love. Don't say try it. At least try it once. See how it goes.
Don't want to live with
And
regret for the rest of your life. There's
no,
one thing
man, you
you
don't
don't want
want
to
to.
live. You don't want to think what if.
No, 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 hell
And like, cause
no.
you never know what's going to happen either. You never know, like the world shutting down with COVID. And like, I mean, I'm sure that interfered with some of
Nobody can
your
predict it, man.
performances and kind of gigs
Yeah,
you had lined up.
it was a bad time, man. It was just the time where it was getting the buzz. I
But
was
that
starting to
seems
do
like,
shows.
it seems like, I don't want to say it's coming to an end, but it seems like it's certainly getting better. And
100%, 100%.
that must be exciting for someone like you, because now you kind of got that in the back of your head. You can
Right.
start thinking about planning maybe some performances or shows or
Yeah, and to
anything
be honest
really.
with you, like I'm really sensitive with COVID, like because of my family.
Yeah,
I live with them, so like it was always a talk, and it was maybe really more sensitive than other people, and that's how it was. But I think like compare right now, compare US. I'm looking at people, like people got pool parties. Everything's opening up. A couple of days, I think yesterday I saw like Fortune was open here in Vancouver, and that was like one of the
wow.
stages I performed. So I was like, okay, like obviously I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. It's great that obviously the vaccination is working, and that's something to be really like grateful for. But it was really a tough 2020 was really tough for everyone, I think.
For everyone.
And it really destroyed people's mental health. One of them was definitely me. But I think like now it's kind of coming back. I was just outside as well before doing this interview with you and podcast. It just felt great to just see so many people at a park, like
Yeah.
and like just people smiling again, like but that just shows, man, don't take everything like it's don't take anything for granted, like it's
Anything. Don't take anything for granted.
yeah,
Like you
it's
don't you think something's normal. You're just one day. I remember hearing about coronavirus just like kind of in the news, or somebody would share it on Facebook saying how there's this scary virus coming from another part of the
right.
world. And I'm like, I've heard this before, and like I've seen it
Yeah,
in
the
the news. I'm like,
2012 ending kind of
exactly.
thing.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I've seen this. I'm like, it'll blow over. People will forget about it. But then no, and then all of a sudden a week later, like my girlfriend can't go to work, and I'm getting fucking my phone's pinging saying NBA season's canceled, and like I'm like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
shit, like oh, this
Yeah, my
isn't a
work,
joke
same thing
anymore.
with me. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I'm
it was
fortunate.
it
I
was.
didn't miss. I work at a graveyard, right? So
Oh,
I
I didn't
didn't.
know
Yeah,
that.
I didn't miss one day of work, not one
That's
hour.
good.
So
I got
I'm.
lucky because I could work from home. So,
Well, there you go.
so many stores closed though, businesses shut down. And, it's so sad to see that. But the economy got fucked, man. Like it
It's
was
changed
real.
forever, and it's going to take a while to
Yeah.
recover from it. And
To
I mean,
recover.
as far as businesses shutting down and stuff, like, I mean, I've gone the last time I went downtown and I was just driving, I looked at
Mm.
some of the stores and it looked like they were still doing okay. But like when you hear about some of the horror stories down in the States, in Los Angeles and places like that, it's like all the stores. Cause I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they don't have some of the programs that we've been having, like Curb or Serb.
Like yeah, I'm not sure either, to be honest. But
But it's
at the end,
sad.
though, everyone got affected. Like
Yeah.
that's the main thing. Is it was definitely sad, man. But even like me working from home affected me because I used to, transit, go to work, see
Yeah.
people, talk to people, have lunch breaks, like
No, you can't
staying
do that.
in one office, like it was just like felt like prison, and that was like for a long time. Uh, it was hard to deal with, man, to kind of balance life. And I'm still like at home, they still haven't told us to come back, but
Yeah.
um, it's I'm sure different people went through worse because some people got laid off, like tough times for sure.
I was hearing on the radio the other day that a lot of office spaces are up for lease now because people don't want to go back to the office. Some people are like,
Oh,
I
interesting.
kind of like it at home. Not everyone, of course, but some people, like, I mean, a lot of the industries where work can be done from home, I feel like that might never be the same. Not everything, but I feel like there's a lot of industries that if it can be done from home, like I kind of like this over the phone doctor's appointment thing. for something as easy as filling a prescription or something
I'm
like that, I kind of like it.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one because I felt like at first I do miss the transit and seeing people,
Yeah, of
but
course.
then I'm like I can do everything at home and then I can also go out and like I'm also need to I can cancel the whole transit part. So like
Yeah.
um it definitely did change and still I think there a lot of companies or workplaces are deciding what to do. I think as we're kind of coming back to normality with like people going back to work and offices, I don't. To be honest with you, like right now, like I know they say mask might be might become like just voluntary kind of thing
July
in the
1st or
future.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, right. So I know like that's one of the good things that are coming up, but like I don't want
Yeah.
to go in the office and tell me to wear a mask and I can't feel like I can breathe with like clothes on and like just
Yeah. It's
um
like,
yeah.
I don't know.
So
It's like we're going to have to wait and see what the aftermath is going to be. And that might take 6 months, a year, 2 years. We don't know how
yeah,
long
I'd
it
say
will
for
be, but
sure. Yeah,
things will be better. I don't want to say they'll be back because it
yeah,
might never be back.
yeah.
And certain
No, well,
practices I think should stay the same. Like, I mean, I feel like a disgusting piece of shit because I used to touch fucking gas pumps. I'm never gonna. I use paper towel even after COVID's long gone. I'm never gonna touch a gas pump with my hands ever again. You can't
the
even.
behaviors, I think, is not gonna go away. I feel you.
No.
Like that washing hand thing. Like I'm not
Yeah.
saying I didn't wash my hand, but like I think
But that
whenever I go out,
diligently,
I'm gonna yeah, it's gonna be on my mind to a
the
point where it's like
sanitizing, no, it's terrible for you. I got these fucking crusty
I
dry
get
hands all
rashes,
winter.
man. I was
Yeah.
like, and they forced me to do it. I'm like, man, I get rashes. Like it's I'm a little like allergic, or my skin is allergic to it a
Yeah.
little bit. So
But the hand washing for sure. Like any time you're
yeah,
getting in your house, you're gonna eat, wash your damn hands. You don't need to wash them 18 times a day, but if you're getting
yeah.
home,
That's
before you even touch anything, wash your
touch
hands.
the food,
And
wash your
before you
hands.
eat, and try not to touch your face. I don't touch my face as much, and my skin got better during
Yeah.
COVID. Yeah,
Wow.
just
Right. Right.
because like you don't realize how much you touch your face, and like when there's not some big
Yeah.
scary
Yeah.
disease looming over you, you don't think about it.
And
But
it's
now
not
you
just with
kind of think
COVID,
about
like
it.
it'll be different flus coming up later on,
Yeah.
seasonal flus. Like I think we'll just prevent that with just washing the hand and the main thing. And obviously like if you're sick, don't fucking come. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So
Just be responsible. Like um yeah. I like you said, I think in a couple months we'll see how things will go, but it's just good to see at least there's a positive and hope.
improvement. Yeah.
Yeah, improvement and hope for it. And with others who've been definitely gone through so much trouble and hard times, like you're not alone. That's
No,
that's the main thing.
never.
Like you're not alone in anything. So just know that like a lot of people feel the same way, and that like at the end of the day, it's gonna get better. Just you gotta have that hope. If you don't have hope, life becomes very tough.
Yeah, exactly. Better days are coming. And I mean, I had a good day, and I had a good day here with
But
you, and a great time here with
yeah,
you.
man.
And I
Lovely,
appreciate
man.
it. And I mean, we've
Yeah,
been
man.
kind of dancing around this, trying to make this happen for a while now. But I'm glad,
Yeah, man.
I'm glad we made it happen. And I mean, I'm sure we'll make it happen again in the future because I'm
For
not going
sure, man.
anywhere,
For
and you're
sure.
not going anywhere.
No, man. Anytime,
So
man. Anytime works.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
no, but I appreciate it, man. And I wish you luck in everything. And
All right. Same to you, man. All the
I
best
hope
to
you
you as well.
don't give up that grind. Don't give up.
No, never,
I
man.
won't
Never,
give up,
man.
I promise, but you make sure you don't give up. And I mean, like,
No,
we'll do
man. I
something.
won't. Of
But
course, man.
yeah,
In the future, we'll definitely look out. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for the love, man. I
but
appreciate it. And
of course,
yeah, man. We'll catch on in the soon future. I'm sure. And new music always coming from me. So let me
well,
know what
I'll
you
stay tuned. I
think.
follow you
So
on Spotify
yeah,
and
man.
YouTube, so I get
I
notifications. Don't
that's
worry.
that's love, man. That's love. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
No, but I
Yeah,
got you.
man.
But yeah. So
Yeah, I
take it
appreciate it,
easy
brother.
and